Hello and thanks for clicking. Today I want to do a special thread for my dog Elsa. Elsa has been my dog for almost 10 years now. She turns 10 this August, in just a few days actually. August 19th she'll be 10 years old. She's been with me most of her life. The first few months she was born underneath a 57 Chevy, believe it or not. Somebody I work with, they had a blue heeler and a red heeler, and the mom was a red heeler, had puppies underneath their 57 Chevy car. It doesn't run, but they keep it in their yard like a monument, and that's where she had puppies. So Elsa was born into a rock and roll lifestyle. But she is just a wonderful dog. I've talked about her in a previous video about how she's gone blind, and she gets this skin uh, allergy every year. She's getting better with the allergy. Of course, the blindness is still there. But I wanted to celebrate her 10th birthday with a special dog-themed vinyl thread. And I'm sure these have been done before. There's probably some out there right now that I'm not aware of, but none specifically for Elsa T Dog. Elsa T Dog is how I introduce her in formal situations. The T stands for the, Elsa the dog, dog, double G at the end, but most of the time I just call her Elsa. I mentioned in another video that from 2007 to my present day, I've lived alone. I've found it better that I am not with people, more for their sake than my sake, though it helps me too. But Elsa has been with me for 10 of those almost 20 years now, and just a great, faithful companion. What had happened was I didn't want any more pets. I get too attached to them, and when they die, it's just devastating for me. And so I didn't really want any more animals. I had a couple cats when I ended up getting Elsa, but my plan was once those cats went, I was just going to live petless for the rest of my life because it's just too hard when they pass away. But my friend Colby, she said, Mark, you always complain of your loneliness. You need a dog. And to me, that almost seemed like an insult. It was like, oh, you're never going to have a person that you can depend on. You need to get a dog. But it wasn't at all. And it just happened that this worker had these 10 healer pups. 5 of them were blue healers, 5 of them were red healers, and she said, ask me if I would be interested. And I'm like, maybe I should look at these dogs. And what happened, I went out to look at the dogs, and like I said, most of them were still underneath that car. And when I came to look at them, all the other dogs ran out into this nearby field, but Elsa ran towards me. And I said to myself, this is the one. This is the dog it was meant to be. So I said, how about this dog? Could I have this dog? And of course, that's what happened. I named her Elsa after Elsa Lanchester from The Bride of Frankenstein. A lot of people thought I'd named her Elsa because the movie Frozen, that kids movie was popular at the time, and everybody kept saying, oh, from the movie Frozen. And I said, no, from the monster movie, The Bride of Frankenstein. Anyway, she is kind of a monster in some ways. Right now, she's tearing up my couch. Blind as a bat, but can still figure out how to tear up my couch. Anyway, I love this dog. Oh, she was just making it soft for herself. Anyway, I wanted to do a thread especially for Elsa. And so, let me tell this other story, how Elsa just became more and more part of my life. So, people who watch my channel from the outset know that I like to paint from now and again. Well, Elsa started making her way into my paintings. So this is the first one where Elsa showed up. That's my niece Lily, or a representation of my niece Lily. But I started putting Elsa in the background and stuff, and then she became, you can kind of see her with a crown on her head back there. She became kind of a main feature of the things. And then when I started publishing books, these paintings from the book, so Elsa's on the cover of my book, Blue Rooms. That's a shameless self-promotion there. Anyway, this is the thread, and this is what you're waiting for. Uh, all you have to do is find an album, a vinyl album, or it could be CD, I don't care, that has a picture of a dog on it, or a song about dogs, uh, song lyrics that have the word dog in it, song titles that have the word dog in it, or maybe you just want to pick some albums that are dogs in general that you just don't like, that didn't pan out for you. But it's real easy to do. I picked out 5, but let's say from 4 to 10. 4 because there's 4 letters in Elsa's name, and 10 because she'll be turning 10. Let's keep it at that, and I'm going to show you some examples. Neil Young, everybody knows This Is Nowhere. Look, dog right on the cover. This is a great album, by the way. There's an even better picture inside of the dog. But this is a great Neil Young album. Everybody knows This Is Nowhere. That Down by, it has that really long, great version of Down by the River. All the songs on here are great. And that studio version of Cowgirl in the Sand, which is one of my favorites. Here's an interesting one. So Alice Cooper, this is my promotional copy, by the way. Alice Cooper has an album called From the Inside. And one of the songs on here is called For Veronica's Sake. And Veronica, in the song, is a dog. So Alice has been put in an insane asylum, and he says, for Veronica's sake, I gotta get out of here. And I really like the song. For Veronica's Sake, Veronica being a dog, Alice Cooper, From the Inside. I know a lot of people don't particularly like this album. I really do enjoy it. It's maybe not classic Alice, but I think it's an important album, and I really do like it. And for lyrics, I've been listening to a lot of Bruce Springsteen lately, as you may know. On Darkness on the Edge of Town, there's a song called The Promised Land. And one of the lyrics is, the dogs on this street howl because they understand. And I believe in a promised land. One of my all-time favorite Springsteen albums, right along with Nebraska. And then Tom Waits, Rain Dogs. This is one of my all-time favorite Tom Waits albums. This and Swordfish Trombones, really high up there for me. I don't think there's a Tom Waits album I don't like, but this one and Swordfish Trombone, just way up there for me. And of course the song on here is Rain Dog, for I am a rain dog too. And then I couldn't forget David Bowie, Diamond Dogs. And if you see the full cover, you can see David Bowie transformed into a dog there. And this has all the parts. Some of the albums, they darkened out that area. Diamond Dogs. As they pull you out of the oxygen tent, you ask for the latest party. So those are my 5 albums. Those are some examples. You can come up with that whatever you want. Even if you don't have a dog, you can do this. You can even, if you have cats, if you're a cat person, you can do it about cats. One thing interesting is on my thumbnail, I'm calling it the Dog Days of Summer vinyl tag or something like that. the dog days of summer, I looked it up where that came from. It has nothing to do with pet dogs. It's just the hottest part of the summer, and it correlates to when the dog star Sirius rises in the summertime and is visible in the sky. And the ancients believed it was the sun with the combination of the dog star that made it so hot. Those ancients were so goofy, but that's where it came from. So I thought that was interesting. And I think the dog days, if I remember correctly, which could be totally wrong, technically from July 3rd to August 11th. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the August 11th date is right. Anyway, that's the meaning of dog days. So this channel is very educational. And then I want to show a little video. A few years ago, I mentioned Elsa's birthday. I celebrate her birthday every year, and sometimes in a spectacular manner. I'm not going to go into, but we've had lots of parties, me and Elsa, on her birthday. And a few years ago, Steve from A is for Alice, B is for Bob, C is for Canine, he got Elsa some presents for her birthday, a squid squeak toy and a scarf with her name on it. She demolished the squid toy not long afterwards, but like one tentacle at a time. But then she carried the corpse around for a long time. We still have the handkerchief that she wears like to special occasions when we go to the dog park and stuff like that. Anyway, I want to show that video. I wanted, if you could say, if you respond to this thread, if you could just say happy birthday Elsa in there, I could show her, she can't see the screen anymore, but she can hear her name. So if you want to say happy birthday Elsa in there, that would be a nice bonus. But here's a little video I made for Steve when he gave Elsa her presents a few years ago. Ready, go. So thanks again, Steve. That was so sweet that you did that. And I just wanted to say happy birthday, Elsa. I love this dog. She's having troubles these days, but I think she still has some good years in her, and I'm going to cherish her as long as I can. And thanks for watching. And if you participate, thanks. And let me know that you participated, because I'd love to see these videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.